Live with Bob Hanson, Tom Luchak, Sean O'Malley, Adam Fitzgerald, and Andy Van Meer. This is Buffalo After Dark.
One. All right, good evening, guys. This is your host, Buffalo Bob. I am here with Mr. Sean O'Malley. It is Wednesday, January 12, 2022, and Tom is a fucking asshole, and he decided to leave me on board. And I am here with Mr. Sean O'Malley. What's going on?
Hey, nothing much, man. How about them freaking dogs, huh? Finally jumped over the hump, beat Alabama, national champions after 41 years. Man, I'm stoked.
Kudos to them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, congratulations on that, Sean. I know that you started watching college football a couple of months ago.
I've been watching college football for years.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And how long have you been a Georgia Bulldogs fan?
Actually, for a few years. I actually have two favorites, Georgia and Penn State. I've been a Penn State fan longer.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I kind of kept it a secret for quite a while.
There's no secrets in a relationship. You know that.
Even though I'm single.
Yeah. And I got Brittany in the background, so I know she's going to want to say some few comments later about the Bills. So we're going to keep that in mind. And like I said, congratulations on the Georgia Bulldogs and winning the national title for the first time in 42 years?
41.
41, close enough.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a hell of an achievement, though. I mean, I don't really watch a lot of college football, but I tried to get into it a couple of years ago during the pandemic, and I just I don't know I would do this. Because it's like, there's people that get transferred and there's people that go to the NFL and it sucks, and it's just like it's not the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you gotta go to a big college game with a full capacity, man. I promise you it will be worth it.
Well, yeah, being a Georgia Bulldogs fan would probably do me doing, but then again, I'd be like, you're a bandwagon fan. I'm like, no. You know what's funny? I have not heard the word bandwagon fans in the last half decade.
That word's probably, I'm sure that word's been played out. It's been used so many times over the years. I think people just got tired of using it.
Yeah, it's just like, meh, whatever. But it came back recently with the Bucs, with Tom Brady, and all the fans that they declared that were Patriots fans for 20 plus years all left to go to Tampa Bay.
Of course. There's no loyalty with that freaking franchise.
No, not at all. Which we're going to get to in a little bit because there's a lot to talk about. But first, let's go over some NFL news because I think there was a lot to talk about. And let's just start off with the head coaching cycle that's been going on this past week, starting Monday. Holy
boy.
crap. Where do we begin?
Let's start with the biggest one, Miami.
Oh, my God. Okay, so for those who probably have heard by now, I mean, if you haven't, I don't know why you have, is the Dolphins ended up firing head coach Brian Flores due to a power struggle that went on in Miami.
Man, that was a real shocker for me, man. Because look, despite whatever drama they had, the man produced 2 winning seasons. You're gonna get rid of 3 seasons. Oh well, even better. But for real, man.
In 2 out of those 3 seasons, he was the head coach. He won 2 winning seasons.
Yeah, I mean, but for real, you're gonna get rid of a guy like that? I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the whole story behind what the drama and whatnot. But at the same time, man, 2 winning seasons for Miami, and you get rid of him just like that.
Well, you know what's funny? I actually did research on this story as to why this happened. And there were 2 reasons behind this. Is this because Stephen Ross is 81 years old and he wants to win a Super Bowl now. And he doesn't believe that Brian Flores is the guy who I think the man's a great coach, but I don't think it was the right idea for Miami to fire him. That's number 1. Number 2, he wanted more power over Chris Greer and Stephen Ross. So, for example, he wanted to have more power in terms of managerial decisions. Like a coach is supposed to be in part of this, but he felt left out and voiceless. So the Dolphins told them to fuck off because they felt like it was becoming more of a tyrannical place to work with Brian Flores. Because think of how many coordinators and positions coaches have resigned under the Miami Dolphins with Brian Flores.
My gosh.
Yeah, remember Chan Gailey?
Oh, don't even get me started with him.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the offensive coordinator for Brian Flores a couple of years ago, and he resigned.
Jeez Louise.
No, but seriously though, the Dolphins I think made a massive mistake.
Absolutely. Like they're back to being the laughing stock for the next several years.
I think Jacksonville would top that, but I think Miami is going to be the biggest laughing stock next to the Jets.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what's really interesting? Since I just brought up the Jets, I spoke to a lot of Jets fans over the week. You want to hear the most surprising comment I've heard over the week?
Oh boy, what you hear?
Who is Robert Saleh?
Wow.
Yeah. So what they mean by that is like they know he's the coach, but when they mean who is Robert Saleh, they firmly believe in they don't know what type of scheme he has. They don't know if he has a plan going forward. And a lot of Jets fans, even though they like the idea of him as a defensive guru, it doesn't mean anything because the Jets have no direction whatsoever. And Saleh, as a first-year coach, is just like that all over the place. And he's like defenseless. He's clueless. And what's the most interesting comment is that Robert Saleh himself said that the Buffalo Bills, after they won the division, said that was the best team he's ever played.
Oh, man. That's high praise coming from him.
Oh, absolutely. And he was a defensive guru for the 49ers a couple of years ago when they went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. That's who Mr. Saleh is, which is really interesting about all that. But, yeah, I mean, it's crazy how a complete 2 years, 48 months, whatever it is that you want to go by, whatever it is, 24 months. It's kind of crazy how everything went into a complete full circle.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And look, as much as I like to, bash the Jets, I gotta respect that. I gotta respect Robert Saleh. I got respect for him.
Absolutely, Trevor.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, boys?
So,
hey, nothing much.
What's up, brother?
We living.
Yeah, so I am hosting tonight, just in case you missed it, because Tom is a fucking asshole and decided to leave me to dry. And he's like, "Oh, I have stuff to do at work tonight. I gotta help back." So I'm taking over for the time being.
Unreal.
Yeah, so I already have all the notes. I am the substitute teacher in the situation. I know all of what's going on and what's being talked about tonight. So
Well, as long as you can handle it, I'm cool with that.
absolutely. Let's start with you. How are the Colts doing?
I don't think that's not a right question for you to ask me.
Well, it certainly is. How the fuck did you lose to Jacksonville?
Okay, I knew you were gonna say that, but I'm just gonna throw it back in your face. You lost to Jacksonville too.
Okay,
They were
but
Hold up. It was despite losing to them, despite no touchdowns in that game, you guys got destroyed by them. How did you let that happen?
It's because we have the stooge that wears the headset calling the plays, only giving JT the rock 15 times, and the stooge throwing the quarterback that absolutely blows too. So I was hesitant about trading for Carson Wentz in the beginning, and look how it turned out. So he has absolutely crapped the bed the last two games. I mean, the Colts were they had two chances to win, and they can get in. Lost to the Raiders at home. The Raiders had something to play for. It was just after John Madden died. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Like the Raiders, they do have something to play for. But to go in there against Jacksonville, a place that's been cursed against Indy since 2014 or 15, since 2015, they just haven't shown up there. And it's just, I will never pick them to win again in Jacksonville unless they snap that streak. But I was pissed about the Jacksonville game, but this game would be irrelevant if they didn't blow a double-digit lead to the Ravens, to the Buccaneers, and to the Titans. If they won one of those games, this game would be irrelevant.
True, but at the point where you were trying to make the playoffs and you choke on that day. Look, I get it. The Bills lost to Jacksonville, but that's not as bad as what Indianapolis just went through.
They didn't choke on anything. I knew from as soon as Trevor Lawrence made that first 3rd down and 12, I knew they were going to lose that game. I knew the defense was going to fold. They never had the lead, so it's not like they choked or anything. I guess if you want to say like they choked away when they were 9-6 and they had a 97% chance of going to the playoffs after the Arizona win on Christmas night, I guess you can say that they choked those 2 games, but they never choked in the Jacksonville game because they never got ahead.
I guess that's a fair point, but the point is that, it's not the lead. It's the fact that you were up a playoff spot and you completely wiped that out within 1 loss. And then you let someone like Pittsburgh, who pathetically doesn't deserve to be there, all of a sudden now is taking over your spot. And then you have someone like the New England Patriots who are just kind of just lay their egg in that one hole, in that one little nest where the Colts were at, and they just laid a big fat egg on there.
Well, Colts beat the Patriots, so they took care of business there. The Colts probably had 50% to do with that, and the Jaguars had like another X amount of percent in there, but the Raiders not kneeling the ball down, the Chargers calling timeout is what ultimately got the Steelers into the playoffs. So I don't want to hear that. I think the Colts not taking care of their own business hurt them more than it helped Pittsburgh get in the playoffs.
Yeah. You know what's really ironic is Brittany and I were watching that entire Chargers-Raiders game because we both said to ourselves after the Bills won the AFCs, they were like everybody on like the media was like, oh, who are the Bills going to play? Are they going to play the Patriots or are they going to play the Chargers? That was the only option. There was no third with Pittsburgh or Las Vegas, but it was either the Chargers or it was the Patriots. And one thing that stood out to me is in the end of the game was when Derek Carr called that timeout with 2 seconds left. And he's like, okay, we're going to end the game right here. And that was on the cusp of a tie. And everyone was like, just take the tie. Just go to the playoffs. You both deserve it. And then sure enough, the Raiders are like, okay, we hate the Chargers that much. Boop, let's kick them out. And Pittsburgh gets in at the very last second of overtime.
Yep, there's 100% bad blood between if there wasn't already lately, the Chargers and Raiders, there is now. I know that's been a rivalry for a long time, but it's been rejuvenated because of that game. So those games are going to be fun to watch next year. But as far as I'm concerned with Indianapolis, next year is going to be a complete wash, I think, because they're more than likely than not going to ride it out with Wentz and then get rid of his contract after next year. So what Philadelphia did was they completely fleeced Indianapolis out of a 1st rounder and a 3rd rounder for this loser that can't throw the ball against the 31st ranked secondary in the NFL against Jacksonville. So in case you wonder, hey, is that your guy? Carson Wentz is not the guy. I'd rather take. Did you guys see the national champ? Obviously,
yes.
Obviously, Sean saw it. Did you see Andrew Luck's cameo?
Yes, I did with RG3.
I would take skinny mustache Andrew Luck over Carson Wentz any day of the fucking week.
Of course you would, because Andrew Luck was probably your saving grace before his career got destroyed.
I mean, he was the only guy that was keeping this team somewhat relevant.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
he had general managers that have come in and have completely failed to build a team around him, picking guys like Philip Dorsett and Dante Moncrief when you needed offensive line help. And then he finally got offensive line help, but already then the damage was already done. You never figured out what the deal was with the secondary, and you stacked up on defensive ends that did not pan out. So Andrew Luck was the only thing that was keeping their heads above water during his time.
Right. So let me ask you this then. As a Colts fan, which trade was worse? The one for Trent Richardson or the one for Carson Wentz?
You may be shocked when I say this, but let me get into the Trent Richardson one first. The Richardson one was very, yes, God bless you, was very low risk because if you look at what they did, they lost in the divisional round that year to the New England Patriots, so they gave Cleveland the 22nd overall pick. The Browns selected Johnny Manziel.
Yes.
And Trent Richardson did not keep the Colts out of playoff contention. Do you know who does keep the Colts out of playoff contention? Carson Wentz. I think the Wentz trade was worse than the Richardson trade.
Wow. And both of them included a 1st-round pick.
Yeah, well, the Carson Wentz one included a 3rd rounder, too.
I gotta say, Philadelphia really fleeced you big time. They really did, and the Colts were foolishly thinking that bringing in Carson Wentz was their saving grace.
Well, during the time, the Eagles said they wanted 3 first-rounders, 3 consecutive first-rounders for Carson Wentz, and they like negotiated the deal down. And at that point, I thought, I'm like, fine, whatever. I didn't want you in the first place, but if he does well, then we definitely just stole him from Philadelphia. He didn't do well, and I don't know why he gets another shot next year. He's probably going to get another shot next year. Um, and let me tell you something about Hard Knocks, HBO. That is the biggest ego inflator that got into their heads, and it caused their egos to go off the charts upwards to the point to where they cannot even make it competitive against a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars. HBO is definitely a part of this, sticking the camera in everybody's face instead of focusing on practicing and instead of focusing on winning. HBO definitely deserves a blame for this as well. I was totally against in-season Hard Knocks. That's the stupidest concept ever. Because if you remember, Hard Knocks always took place during OTAs and training camp.
Yes.
Then HBO came out this year and said, we're going to do an in-season one with the Colts. I'm like, okay, this team is screwed for the year then because they're not going to be focusing on winning football games. But I mean, they held their own against the Patriots and Cardinals. They were shoving the camera in their face before those games happened. They won against the Patriots, and they won without half their starters due to COVID on Christmas night against the Cardinals. So they know how to win there, but I'm done with Frank Reich's cliches. I'm done with Chris Ballard not targeting big name wide receivers in free agency, big name tight ends, or just big names in general in free agency and trying to build through the draft. I think next year is going to be a complete wash. And I heard that Jim Irsay had a 3-hour meeting with Frank Reich and Chris Ballard by themselves after the Jacksonville game, after they landed in Indy, and we don't really know what those details are yet, but Chris Ballard's having a press conference tomorrow at noon, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what the conversation was. So I'm pretty interested in that.
Well, it's not going to be worth it considering the fact that Frank Reich is going to be keeping his job.
Yeah, it's a complete joke. Nobody who chokes that hard. It's been since 1970, where a team had to win one game against the worst team in the league to get in the playoffs, and they lost. This is the first time that's happened since 1970. The fact that this moron still has a job is ridiculous. And I don't really know why the Colts have an offensive coordinator in the first place, because Frank Reich calls all the freaking plays. I remember you earlier in the season, you were asking me, if we get rid of our offensive coordinator, meaning the Bills, can we take Frank Reich? I can give it to you for free right now.
I would gladly take Frank Reich if he was available.
You can deal with Frank Reich not getting the ball to your best player every single week.
You know what, Trevor? I'll say this too. Even if it comes down to the point where I think Leslie Frazier would be the next head coach of the Bears, I would gladly take Brian Flores as the defensive coordinator.
My God. Yeah, absolutely.
I would fucking gladly take him. If the Bills have the shot if the Bills get a slight chance to get him as the defensive coordinator, hands down, I would take Brian Flores. Imagine what the work with him and McDermott would be like. Oh my God.
Do you know what Indy should do?
What? What should Indianapolis do?
They should fire Frank Reich, bring in Brian Flores, and try to trade for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
that's what they should do.
I hate to burst your bubble, Trevor, but Houston will never trade him to Indianapolis.
Well, listen, everybody has a price, and the reason why Deshaun Watson was remotely interested in Miami Dolphins was because of Brian Flores.
Yeah, and now, because he's out of the picture,
he's not going to Miami. I would gladly actually trade Carson Wentz 1-for-1 for Tua Tagovailoa.
You would not do that. Trust me.
Absolutely.
No.
Carson Wentz, when he gets I don't know if you watched any of the Colts games this year, but when he gets under any pressure, this dude is a standing duck, fish in a barrel, doesn't move, takes a hit, and fumbles. That's what Carson Wentz does. Tua can scramble. He can run for 15 yards. And he can sling it down the field too to big tight ends like Mike Gesicki. We have those in Jack Doyle, Mo Alley Cox, and Kylan Granson. We have receivers like Michael Pittman who are great third down receivers and power receivers like that. But I mean, there are so many players that I would trade for Wentz for. I was never on the wagon when he came here. I'm glad they also didn't go after Sam Darnold because we would have seen how that would have gone as well. But they weren't left with many options after that whole Andrew Luck rumor happened. Remember the whole fake texts that were going around last February about Andrew Luck possibly coming back? Remember that?
I remember him. It's funny you said that because I actually remember that conversation. That I think there was a report that came out even before this conversation. I read a report one time that Andrew Luck was considering coming back into the NFL, but not with the Indianapolis Colts.
He's not. No. Did you see him talking to RG3?
Yeah,
No. Did you see what shape he's in? What he looks like now? He is.
yeah.
He is full time dad right now. He's not. There's not a shot in hell he's coming back. But yeah. After the whole Andrew Luck rumors from last year, the only two quarterbacks the Colts were really linked with or left with were Wentz and Darnold. So not a lot to work with. They didn't try to pursue Russell Wilson early. They didn't try to go after Aaron Rodgers. So they had Wentz and what's his face, Darnold to work with. Now, Irsay and other Colts media guys are saying that there's a possibility they can bring in a free agent quarterback to battle it out in training camp with Carson Wentz. And do you want to hear the options?
Please tell us.
So there are four. There are four main options. If you follow me on Twitter, you can see this poll right now. Marcus Mariota, who I said no thanks. Ryan Fitzpatrick, which is very interesting to me. Tyler Huntley with the Baltimore Ravens,
Mhm.
and there was the last one. Who was Gardner freaking Minshew.
You know what? Of the four quarterbacks that are available, I would take Gardner Minshew.
I would too. Yeah, no doubt. I would take either him or Tyler Huntley. Huntley is, I think he's, from what he's done in Baltimore, with very limited weapons and very limited running game, because their two starting running backs tore their ACL before the season started. I think he did a pretty damn good job filling in for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. What do you think, Sean? What should the Colts do?
Wow, I didn't think Tyler Huntley would even be considered a free agent. But wow, between him and Minshew, I would pick Huntley.
Tyler Huntley?
Honest. Yeah, I would pick Tyler Huntley.
Yeah.
I think he's very underrated. But then, you have other names in here like Brendan Allen, goodbye. And you have names like Teddy Bridgewater, no thanks, that are free agents coming up this year. So I think the best option is Gardner Minshew. He won a couple games in Philly when Jalen Hurts was on the COVID list. So, and you can make the argument Philly has less wide receiver weapons than the Colts do. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go through the other coaching hires. So we talked about Brian Flores. We already talked about that shit show. What's the next one up? Chicago. This one was way overdue with Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace. Those guys were way overdue to be fired. Minnesota with Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman. Spielman, I was surprised that got fired, but Zimmer I knew was going to be gone.
Zimmer knew he was out. After that post-game interview, he knew he was out.
Absolutely. So what do we say? Miami, Chicago, Minnesota.
Joe Judge.
Yeah, Joe Judge. Yep, he's done.
You know what? That's a really interesting conversation because the last week and a half, all I heard from the media was how Joe Judge was going to get fired. Everyone knew he was going to get fired. But yet, the day after the whole coaching search scheme or the purge came out, the Giants were like, okay, Joe Judge is safe. And then like 24 hours later, they finally came to their senses and they ended up firing the damn guy because he was like extremely arrogant. He basically called out all his players saying, oh, they're all trash. The media is trash. I'm the greatest. Oh, there's no panic. It was just an egomaniac that wanted control and power, and his tyrannical view and his press conferences and his rants all just led to his demise of being fired as a head coach.
You see, I can't stand guys that let their ego talk for them. I can't deal with that because it always costs them at the end, and for the most part, it doesn't end well.
No, it does
I feel
not.
like there needs to be a happy medium in terms of ego. You can't have it too big and you can't have a lack of ego because you'll have an Indianapolis situation with Wentz and Reich that have zero ego whatsoever, and then they'll just go to their press conferences and quote Bible scriptures instead of talking about why they won or lost the game. They need to hold themselves accountable too. And I don't know for the life of me, how does Brian Flores get fired, but Frank Reich keeps his freaking job?
Because
only in Indy should be a trademark statement because they like to hire their personnel and they like to hire their general managers based on character over talent. That's what I've noticed. They hired Chuck Pagano, who's a nice guy. They hired Frank Reich, who's a nice guy. They brought in Wentz because he's a Christian, probably, and I've just had enough of that. That's why I need a Watson or a Wilson or somebody that will come in here and fix the job. They don't have to just be nice guys. They have to have talent too.
I agree. So I'm trying to think. What was the other teams? Oh, Jacksonville. Oh, I have a fucking field day with Jacksonville. So you see, did you guys see who their first interviewer is going to be?
Better be Matt Eberflus because that guy needs to get fired from Indianapolis immediately.
Nope, it's not him. It's the butt chin.
Go for it, Jacksonville. Bill O'Brien.
Oh gosh, no. Oh, have fun with that.
Do it, Jacksonville.
Maybe with Bill O'Brien, the Colts can trade their long snapper for LaVisca Chenault.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
Oh boy.
Or for Marvin Jones or somebody like that.
Oh God! Yeah, watch Jacksonville trade Trevor Lawrence to the freaking Dolphins for a 5th round pick.
Watch trade Trevor Lawrence to the Colts and a first rounder for their long snapper.
Yeah, Bill O'Brien was so interested in justifying a trade rather than actually helping teams win. Like, what do they see in Bill O'Brien, of all people? Another coach that I think deserves a laugh is Nate Hackett. He was the ex-offensive coordinator for Doug Marrone with the Bills, and he was so god-awful. And the only reason he's getting a job interview was because, I worked with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, anybody could work with Aaron Rodgers and still be shit.
Yo, if Adam was in here, I would tell him and just make fun of the fact that they are interviewing the Colts wide receiver coach for their offensive coordinator position, a team that almost leads the entire league in dropped passes. They're interviewing him to be their offensive coordinator.
Well, they're also talking to Clint Kubiak, who is the Vikings offensive coordinator, I believe.
Garbage.
It is garbage. Let's talk about the Raiders. Now, that's an interesting job that's going to be available. Now, what do you think happens there? Does whatever his name is, Rick Bicassia, I believe his name is, does he keep his job or does he get thrown out the window? Or does it depend on?
I think maybe the GM for the Raiders, I don't know if it's Mark Davis that's in charge, but I think he probably gave him a number like, hey, you have to win these amount of playoff games if you want to keep your job. Maybe 1 or 2 playoff games. If they win 1 or 2, I think he's the coach next year.
We'll have to find out. I mean, it's very possible. I think that's all the teams. I've heard Seattle was entertaining the idea of getting rid of Pete Carroll, but it's been almost 3 days. There's no way at this point Pete Carroll gets fired.
Oh, no. Yeah, I think it'll be overdue. I think the total implosion by the team this year, and then the fact that after week 18 on his ride home, Geno Smith gets pulled over for a DUI.
Oh, jeez.
Typical Geno.
How about that? And another thing I had to talk about with Indianapolis is lack thereof aggressiveness. As far as the general manager is concerned, they let go of Justin Houston and Danico Autry, 2 solid pieces on defense last year that were one of the main reasons why they got to where they were. They have combined for 18 sacks on the year, respectively. Danico Autry with the Tennessee Titans and Justin Houston with the Baltimore Ravens. They have combined for 18 sacks. While with Indy, you have rookie Kwity Paye and DeForest Buckner combining for 9 sacks.
That's embarrassing.
Buckner got 7 and Kwity Paye got 2.
Was it worth a first-round pick for Buckner?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was playing injured a lot this year, so you got to take that into account. But, I mean, what's the point of trading for Buckner, like a great defensive player, if the rest of your other great defensive ends from your front 7 are leaving? So what does that do for your team? It doesn't make any sense.
It does absolutely nothing. And the last team I would talk about is the Broncos. What do you think happens there?
blow it all up. They're gonna blow it up and rebuild.
Yeah.
They have no choice.
Definitely just blowing it up.
Freaking
They really
Denver.
haven't recovered since Peyton Manning retired.
No, they haven't. I think a
No.
lot of the teams on this list haven't recovered since anybody either got tired or they blew it. I mean, look at the Falcons. I mean, big ass lead and 25-point lead in the Super Bowl. Yeah, we have a butt joke in our household about the Falcons, and because they lost that Super Bowl by 25 points, there was a meme that we saw last September where the Anthony Sullivan, the advertisement guy.
Yeah.
The Flexio guy, that's it. There was a meme, and I tried to find it, but I can't. And the meme said, Falcons up by 25. Big ass lead.
Well, when they had the ball, when they were up 28-11 in that game, and were driving into Patriots territory, all they had to do was run it 3 times, kick a field goal, the game is over. And they decided to throw it, get an incomplete pass, then on second down, get a holding penalty, then have Matt Ryan get sacked, and then you have to punt. All they had to do was run it 3 times, kick the 38 or whatever yard field goal it would have been. They would have been up 31-11, and the game would have been over.
I agree. And then
Unreal.
they wouldn't be the butt end of the joke.
It's called Shanahan's offense. And I don't know. I mean, he blew a 10-point lead with 8 minutes to go in the Super Bowl when he was with the Niners, and he's still there. He blew a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs with 8 minutes to go, lost that game. So this dude cannot be trusted in the Super Bowl.
No, he cannot. So speaking of the Super Bowl, let's go over the wild card games. Like, let's go over predictions and stuff like that. Because I know I had Tom give me a list of teams he thinks was going to go to the Super Bowl, but he never gave it to me. So we're going to go around the room. So we're going to start with the AFC, and then we're going to go with the NFC, and then we're going to go through everybody's prediction from that point forward. We good?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go by match or game by game and go from there, and I'll tell you mine at the end of the day. So let's do this. I'm going to start with Sean. So we're going to do the Raiders and the Bengals. Who do you got for that game?
Oh boy, Raiders got something to play. The Raiders got someone to play for. I gotta go with the Raiders.
All right. So the Raiders from Sean's end, and then we're gonna take all the points. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. Never mind. Anyway, New England and Buffalo. Who do you got there?
You know I got Buffalo, man, but the weather's going to be a huge factor.
Low scoring game.
Good gosh, do you see the high temperature for that day?
Zero
Negative-
degrees.
Oh
Below
my
0.
gosh.
Yeah, but the wind is going to be around 10 to 15 miles per hour, which is, I think, exceptional to throw a football in that weather. I think.
Well, wind chill is going to
wind
be
chill.
like minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I know that. But
Jeez Louise.
you know, one thing is Mac Jones cannot play in the cold.
I don't know
Fair enough.
I don't know how he beat us. I don't know how he did it.
It's simple because they ran the ball and they knew at that 55 mile per hour gust of wind, they knew that Mac Jones wouldn't be able to throw a football if his life depended on it. Even if you gave him a normal cloudy day, Mac Jones still wouldn't be able to throw a football if his life depended on it.
Or if he is going to throw a football, he's going to throw it to Hunter Henry.
That's it. That's like the only legit receiver the Patriots have right now. Their defense is good, but it's not good enough to. Well, I can't say that. The Patriots defense is pretty damn good, so I will say that. But in general, so Sean's got the Bills. All right.
Yeah.
Next one is Steelers Chiefs.
Oh, Chiefs,
You got the Chiefs.
of course.
All right. And then from that point forward, the lowest seed plays the highest seed. So with that scenario, we have the Raiders going up
The
against
Titans.
the Titans, and the Bills would play the Chiefs.
Jeez, man.
Oh man.
We'll start with the Raiders and Titans.
Oh. Let's see. The Titans got Derrick Henry back. Mm, I gotta go with the Titans.
Okay, so the Titans go to the AFC Championship game. What about Bills Chiefs?
Okay, all right. We beat them. We beat them early this season, but of course, with the playoffs, everything's completely different. Um, it's going. I think it's going to be a dogfight. Uh, mm, I don't know. Um, I think I might have to go with the Chiefs, and that hurts so much to say.
Okay, so the Chiefs. So then, who goes to the Super Bowl? The Chiefs or the Titans?
Good question. I think that I think the Chiefs somehow pull it out. I think they somehow pull it off.
All right, so you got the Chiefs going for the AFC. Let's do the NFC, and then we'll go to Trevor, and then we'll go to myself. Let's start with the Buccaneers and the Eagles.
Oh gosh, Buccaneers.
Buccaneers? All right.
Yep.
So they get the high seed in that one. Cowboys 49ers.
I gotta go with Dallas on this one.
Dallas, okay. And then we have the first ever Monday Night Football game in the playoffs, the Cardinals and the Rams.
Oh gosh. Oh, that's a real tough one.
And DeAndre Hopkins is not playing.
Yeah, that could definitely be a major factor. I gotta go with the Rams. Forget it.
All right, the Rams. So they have the Rams against the Packers.
Packers.
Okay, so the Packers go to the NFC Championship game. All right, then you have the Buccaneers and the Cowboys.
Oh gosh. What'd I get myself into? Buccaneers and Cowboys.
Can they both lose? That'd be great.
Oh man, that'd be a dream come true. Oh gosh. I think I would have to go with the Cowboys.
Really? The Cowboys over the Bucks?
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it's been a
That would be
lo-
fantastic
Here's
to
the
see Tom
thing.
Brady lose.
Here's the thing. It's been way too long since the Cowboys have sniffed the playoffs. Okay, and this team is hungry. The Cowboys fans are hungry. They will go all out. Okay, so I barely give the edge to the Cowboys.
Okay.
Just barely.
Okay, then what about Cowboys versus Packers?
Packers, they're hard to beat in the tundra.
Alrighty. So for Super Bowl 56, Sean has the Chiefs playing the Packers. So now, who gets the ring?
That is a Super Bowl I repeat.
Yeah. Oh boy. I think I give it to Green Bay.
So Green Bay wins it all.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Trevor, it's your turn. So we're going to start all over again. So you have the Raiders and the Bengals.
Bengals, I'll take them by 14. I was thinking like 31-17.
All right. And then you have Bills Patriots.
Dude, it's going to be low scoring as hell, and the last time that happened, the Patriots won, but I think the Bills will win this one by like 3.
Okay, so the Bills are advancing. All right, so you have the Chiefs versus Bills.
That would be in Kansas City, right?
Correct.
Jeez, man.
And the
Yikes.
Bills beat them in Buffalo and the Bills beat them in Kansas City on primetime earlier.
Right. And Kansas City will definitely remember that. I'll say Kansas City in a slight edge.
Okay, so Kansas City goes to the conference championship. How about Bengals Titans?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. All right, so you both said Kansas City and Tennessee.
Yep.
All right. So who do you have going to the Super Bowl then?
Hate saying it, but Tennessee. Coming from a Colts fan, I fucking hate saying it, but I think the Titans will go.
All right, so the Titans are going to the Super Bowl. All right, moving on to the NFC. So we're going to do the Eagles and the Buccaneers.
Oh, Tampa Bay by like 17.
Tampa Bay? All right, so Tampa advances. Dallas and San Francisco.
I'm going to take San Francisco in an upset.
Really?
Yep.
You're-
I can see it going to overtime, and San Francisco will walk it off with a touchdown.
All right, so San Francisco goes to the conference champ. I mean, I'm sorry, not the divisional round. Excuse me. And then we have Cardinals and Rams on Monday night.
Without Hopkins, it's definitely going to be the Rams.
Yeah, Hopkins is not playing, so Rams. All right, so the Rams will play the Packers.
Ooh,
Yeesh.
wow. And that would have to be in Green Bay because Green Bay has the 1 seed. So
Correct.
give me the Rams because the Packers choke in the playoffs.
All right, so the Rams are going to the conference championship. All right, then you said the 49ers and the Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay
Okay,
over
so
San
you
Francisco.
all right, so it's Tampa Bay and the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Winner goes to the Super Bowl to play the Titans.
Matt Stafford upsets Tom Brady in the NFC Championship game, and the Rams go to the Super Bowl.
All right, so we have a Super Bowl 34 repeat. The Rams and the Titans.
And
Now
similar to Super Bowl 34, the Rams will be triumphant over the Tennessee Titans.
And ironically, the game is in Los Angeles this year.
Wow,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that would be something for sure.
In
I
back-to-back
have the
years.
Rams winning the Super Bowl. I had it from the start of the season too.
So you're going to pick the Rams over the Titans.
Yep, probably by about either 6 or 3. It'll come down to a last-minute stop by the Rams defense.
Okay, so Trevor has the Rams. Sean has the Packers. That's interesting. And what about you, Brittany? What's up?
You don't want to do it with me?
You want to come on over?
No, I can do it with you.
Well, you're going to have to speak up then.
Okay.
All right, fine. So Brittany wants part of this too. So I'm going to...
Remember we kind of talked about it the other day?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Even though she's in the background, she's on her iPad doing a puzzle. So forgive her, guys, for that.
I hope you guys know next year it's going to be Colts Jags AFC Championship
Imagine that. All
in
right.
Indy, of course.
All right, Brett, you're up. So AFC, we're going to start from the conferences. So we're doing the Raiders versus the Bengals.
Bengals.
You're going with the Bengals.
Yeah, because I was very upset for the Chargers on that game Sunday night.
They
See?
definitely did it to themselves, though, calling that timeout with 35 seconds to go. So stupid.
If they didn't make such a great comeback, I would say, whatever. But the 2 seconds, he did that on purpose, and I'm mad for them.
Well,
The
they
Raiders
are-
just completely stuck it to him with that run from Jacobs.
Right. The next one up is the Patriots and the Bills.
I'm obviously going to say the Bills. I'm hopeful.
Okay, so you so far you have Bengals and the Bills. What about Chiefs Steelers?
As much as I hate the Chiefs, I think they're going to beat the Steelers.
Okay.
Steelers don't really deserve to be in the playoffs, in my opinion. But
All right.
I hate the Chiefs because of Jackson Mahomes.
See?
his brother, right?
Yeah.
I like Patrick Mahomes. I hate Jackson Mahomes.
I don't like Patty Mahomes that much.
I don't know.
I mean, he sounds like Kermit the Frog, but he's a really good quarterback.
Hell yeah, he does. Alrighty. Anyway, so we have the Chiefs and the Bills.
Okay, I am going to say, I'm saying the Bills because when they lost to the Chiefs in playoffs last year, they made up for it beginning of the season. And I think now that they have that determination in their bellies to beat the Chiefs, even though it is at, as you call it, Arrowhead Stadium, I think they can do it again.
Okay, so she's picking the Bills. So the Bills go to the AFC Championship game. What about the Bengals and the Titans?
Titans.
So Brittany's
doubt.
got the Titans and the Bills in the AFC Championship game. So who goes to the Super Bowl?
Did we play the Titans this year?
Yes, on Monday night.
Yeah, Allen was stuffed at the goal line on 4th and goal.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a tight game, but I think the Titans might pull it over on them.
I
All right.
fucking hate that team so much, man.
I,
I cannot stand Tennessee.
I don't really
Those
mind them. personally.
Hillbillies, man. Those fans act like they've been great for 500 years. They had one great season where they actually won the division and they got the number 1 seed. Those hillbillies never shut the fuck up on Twitter.
Oh my god, that was great.
Oh.
All those fake country singers thinking that they're hot shit.
I like pro country.
Yeah, we were.
They've won 0 championships. They have won nothing. It's sad when Indy has 2 and Tennessee has nothing. See, that's what's sad, that the Colts have more titles than you. That's a joke.
Oh, that's great. So Brittany has the Titans going to the Super Bowl. All right,
Fuck 'em.
NFC, Eagles and Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
All right.
Easily.
All
No
right.
doubt, no doubt. And
Yeah.
the Eagles too. Like I see all those Eagles fans saying, "Oh, thanks for our first round pick." Well, I hope you don't blow it like you did with Jalen Rager.
I hate Eagles fans.
I hate them too.
So
Like
arrogant.
Henry Ruggs.
So what?
Henry Ruggs has more receiving yards than Jalen Rager. So I was like, don't waste our first round pick, and they got so butthurt on Twitter.
Oh, that's great. 49ers and Cowboys.
I'm taking Cowboys by a little bit.
Cowboys by a bit.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have the Cardinals and the Rams without DeAndre Hopkins.
I think the Rams.
All right, you're taking the Rams.
Cardinals were doing good, and then they kind of like declined
Right,
very
right.
steeply.
Right. Okay, so the Rams and the Packers.
I want to say the Rams, but I think it's going to be the Packers.
All right, so the Packers go. And then you said Buccaneers and Cowboys?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Definitely the Bucks.
all right, so Packers and Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game. And the winner plays the Titans.
I would love the Cowboys to beat the Bucks. Man,
For
that'd
real.
be great.
My gosh.
Tom Brady losing to the Cowboys would be the highlight of the year.
Right.
All right, what do you got? Cowboys and Buccaneers.
I was rooting for Brady and the Bucks last year, but I think I'm gonna have to go with the Packers.
Okay, so Super Bowl 56, the same answer that Trevor had, which was the Packers and the Titans.
I think it's gonna be the Packers. I think if they make it all the way, they're gonna for the Titans.
I said Rams Titans, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're right. I apologize, Trevor. So
Yeah, Sean picked
Yeah, I picked the
Packers.
Packers.
all right, so Packers, Rams. All right.
Yep.
All righty. So it's my turn. So for the AFC, Bengals and Raiders, I'm going with the Bengals. Easy. Yeah, I'm going with
No
the
doubt.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's on fire.
I'm going with the Bengals. Bills Patriots, I'm going with the Bills. That should be no surprise to no one. And then Chiefs and Steelers. Honestly, I'm going with the Chiefs. Honestly, I
I thought
can't.
you were gonna say Packers for a second. I thought you were gonna say the Steelers for a second. I was like, wait a second.
You know what's funny? I saw a comment earlier today from Ben Roethlisberger and it says, "Yeah, whatever. We didn't deserve to be here, but."
Well, that's,
Yeah.
that's
Did you
the-
say that for real?
He said that they were just playing for fun. I think he was joking, but still, you don't say that at a press conference.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he really did say that, which is really ironic.
That's the exact thing you want.
Playing for fun? Are we in U7 like Timbit League soccer?
Yeah.
He's
All
probably
right.
saying all this right. I bet he's probably saying this right now because he knows this is the last. This is the last goal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. And then in the AFC divisional round, Bills versus Chiefs, I am going with a repeat. I'm going with the Bills. And then for the Bengals Titans game, here's a shock. I'm going to pick the Bengals over the Titans. I firmly believe that Joe Burrow is going to go over Tennessee's defense on that. I firmly believe this.
That would be fantastic.
Right? I would
Yeah.
love that.
Yep. Bills Bengals. I'm going to pick the Bills to win this one. So the Bills will go to the Super Bowl representing the AFC. And then in the NFC, here's another shocker. I'm going to pick the Eagles over the Buccaneers. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know what? They freaking deserve it if they got rid of that scrub Wentz. Go out and
Oh,
beat Tampa
gosh.
Bay.
Yeah, it's very possible. I'm going to pick the Eagles over the Buccaneers. 49ers and Cowboys. I am picking Dallas for that one. And then on Monday Night Football, I am picking the Rams to beat the Cardinals. All righty. So with that in mind, it's the Rams versus the Packers. For that game, I'm going to pick the Packers. They're going to the NFC Championship game. And then Cowboys and Eagles. This one should be no surprise. I am going with Dallas. And then for the NFC Championship game, which is Green Bay and Dallas, I'm going with Green Bay. So the Super Bowl matchup is Green Bay versus Buffalo. And for the Super Bowl, I got to go with the Bills. I really do.
Over the Packers?
Over the Packers.
Over the Packers.
Over Green Bay.
No. If
Oh,
they
boy.
Broadway,
Green Bay are choke artists in the Super Bowl or in the playoffs, but I mean that Packers team is just so good right now. Like it's kind of hard to see them blow it. So you had the Bills and Packers, you said?
Yes, Bills Packers for the Super Bowl, and I have Buffalo winning that one.
if the
That would
Bills
be
make it all
that would
the
be
way
a
to the
complete
end,
shootout.
If that
I think the Packers would overturn them.
That would be a 30 to yeah, that would definitely be like I would definitely take the over 60 in that Super Bowl. It would be a complete shootout.
Yeah, but look at it this way. How many receivers do the Packers have that have over 1,000 receiving yards, aside from Devontae Adams?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Exactly.
under 1,000. I mean, you still got some damn good ones that are under 1,000, like Alan Lazard and MVS
Yeah, that's true. But you also have Aaron Jones. See, the
and
Bills
St.
have,
Brown. St. Brown's pretty good too.
their defense is pretty stellar. I will say that. I will give the Packers credit on that. But that's just my opinion, of course. But who knows? We can all come back here within a month, and we can all be wrong about that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could all say that Tennessee wins it all, which I would vomit in my mouth.
oh
Of
boy.
course you would, dude. You fucking hate Tennessee, man.
Dude, I fucking hate Tannehill. I hate that entire team. I respect Derrick Henry, but fuck the rest of them.
No, but on a serious note, though, if the Bills were to make it all the way, it will definitely be mostly because of our defense. I have to say.
I mean, put it this way.
Allen needs to start throwing more completions. Because against the Jets, what did he go? 24 of 42?
It's because he threw 4 interceptions at the
No, it was
at
the Falcons game.
Falcons game. Yes.
There was
Right.
3
And then
interceptions.
he threw a couple against the Panthers the week before that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I think they've been trying to work on the running game a lot, which is good. A good time to do it at the end of the season. But I do agree that he should go back to throwing and using his arm.
He shouldn't be throwing the ball more than 42 times a game. I don't think he should.
He's also been doing a lot of running, which is good in some parts, but he's been doing it too much. That kind of makes me nervous now.
Yeah, and he needs to learn how to freaking slide. He's going to get injured if he doesn't learn how to slide.
No. Literally, as Bobby, every time he starts running and they're coming after him, I'm like, oh my God, he's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Yep, you got to do the old Michael Vick slide. Protect
Yeah.
yourself.
Well, he had
Real,
that
man.
a
You
few
can't be-
years ago where he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For one game.
You can't
I
be
remember
doing.
that.
You can't do all that running for long.
No, you can't. And that's not healthy for you as far as that is concerned.
Ask Andrew Luck if
Andrew,
that was healthy for him. Ask Andrew Luck if scrambling all the time was healthy for him.
Well, Andrew Luck had no offensive line.
No, he didn't. He also didn't have any running game.
Whatever happened to friggin' what's his face? Wait, I'm thinking of Peyton Manning. I was
Remember
about to say-
Dante Culpepper would always run for his life too.
Oh, I remember him. Yeah.
Good
With the
old Don-
Vikings?
Yeah,
Yep.
good old Dante Culpepper.
Man, that's a name I haven't heard in a while though. And then Dolphins legend, they picked him over Drew Brees, but that's besides the point.
Let's draft him.
Oh, God.
Trade him.
No, they went after him in free agency. They went after him in free agency over Drew Brees, which
Yeah.
was ridiculous.
What? Like how?
And then the Chargers, didn't they trade for? Yeah, no, I think they traded away Drew Brees.
No, they traded away Eli Manning for Phillip Rivers.
Oh, that was what it was. Yep, in the draft. What was that,
Yeah.
2003?
Yeah, no,
2004.
2004. But in 2001, it was LaDainian Tomlinson for Michael Vick.
That was a great move. Not gonna lie.
For
the
both
Chargers.
sides?
Well, yeah, definitely for both sides, but I think they always said like running backs that play in dome stadiums tend to get injured more. So LT going to the Chargers was definitely beneficial, and then Vic obviously slinging that thing around in a dome was good too.
Without a doubt. And here is one more piece of news before we wrap up tonight's episode, and that is the NFL draft order for 2022. And there are some intriguing defensive players in this draft this year. But as far as I'm concerned, what the fuck is going on here? Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. CBS Sports, former Houston head coach Bill O'Brien, according to CBS Sports, could be pairing with former Broncos defensive coordinator head coach Vic Fangio as defensive coordinator when he makes a pitch for the Jaguars, and other teams are interested as well.
Please sign him, Jacksonville. That would be awesome.
Please sign the butt chin while you're ahead. He does have a butt chin. I mean, all you have to do is just look at Bill O'Brien's chin. It looks like a big
yeah.
head.
Oh yeah.
How did was he dropped as a baby to get that, or what the hell happened to his chin?
Obviously, looking back at the Hopkins trade, yeah, he was dropped on his head as a child.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so I'm going to read you the top 18 draft picks for the 2022 NFL draft in the spring, and Britt and I will no doubt be here for that, and we will be doing a live stream for that draft, of course, like every year. All right, so the order for the 2022 draft is going to be, at first overall, is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Surprise.
Of course.
Surprise. The number 2 pick goes to the Detroit Lions.
Not surprised.
Number 3 is the Houston Texans.
Sounds about right.
What?
The number 4 pick goes to the New York Jets.
I thought
Once
they'd be
again.
number 3.
Jets in the top 5.
Yep.
We've seen this story before.
Yep.
Yeah,
Number 5 goes to the New York Giants.
of course.
Man,
Yep.
that team is a train
My
wreck.
gosh.
Yep. Number 6 goes to the Carolina Panthers. Now, actually, Adam has something to look forward to in the future.
They started off 3-0 too. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, that
They
was
started off the season 3-0.
fuck happened to them. Number 7 is the New York Giants from the Chicago Bears trade for Justin Fields.
2 top 10 picks.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. Number 8 is the Atlanta Falcons, aka Big Ass Lead. Yep.
28-3.
Oh God, that's all I have to say. And Falcons fans shamble in tears. Number 9.
But you know what? They have a national championship now and a World Series, so I think they're recovering from that.
Slowly but surely. Number 9 is the Denver Broncos.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
Yep.
fair. That's fair enough.
And number 10 goes to the New York Jets, and this was originally Seattle's pick.
The
Oh, boy.
Jets.
They need all
They
the
get the
help they
5
can
and the
get.
10. Well, no, they get the 4 and the 10. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Giants have 5 and 7, and the Jets have 4 and 10.
Oh,
So
gosh.
that's the order.
That area needs all the help they can get.
Yep.
No
and
doubt.
Jeez
Yep.
Louise.
And the newly named Washington Admirals at number 11.
No, they're the no names. They will always be the no names.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
Wait a minute. The Washington Redskins have the 11th pick?
Yeah, the Redskins have the 11th overall pick, or until February, they're going to be called the Washington Admirals.
Such a stupid.
That's
I
so
would have gone with something
dumb.
so funny, like the
Why?
Washington Demon Cats. Remember when that was a possibility? I would have just thrown that out there as a name. The Demon Cats.
The Admirals, that is so freaking dumb.
I feel like that name is so overused in every sport too.
And the
I find it
saddest-
ironic. I find it ironic that they would name themselves the Admirals, seeing as how they're near the nation's capital.
Yeah, basically. And on top
Washington
of-
presidents would have been unique.
No,
I would have
No,
gone on board with
no,
that.
I think
no,
that would have
would've
been worse.
stupid. No, I think the Red Hawks would have been more appropriate, considering that back in the 80s, the Redskins had one of the best offensive lines in football, and it was nicknamed the Hogs. I think that would have been a lot more appropriate.
Oh, Red Hogs would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
And Red Tails, that air troop from World War II, that would have been cool too.
Absolutely. But unfortunately, it's the Washington No Names, or the Washington Admirals, as you want to call them. It's whatever. Oh my fucking.
Good
Yep.
gosh.
Yep, the
The
Dolphins
Admirals.
have requested permission to interview Bills defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier.
That's not going to go through.
No,
No.
no.
They're not just going to give him to Miami.
Definitely
Forget
not.
that. No.
No. Number 12 is the Minnesota Vikings.
Yep. Outside of Justin Jefferson, that team is irrelevant.
Yep, and Dalvin Cook.
Oh yeah, right. When
Yep.
when he's actually healthy.
Yeah. Number 13 is the Factory of Sadness.
Who, the Colts are picking 13th?
No, the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
No,
The Browns.
The Colts are called the Glue Factory.
Like, I never understood that.
I hope so, because horses are made out of glue. And your logo is a
Wait,
horse.
glue comes from horses?
Yes. You ever read Animal Farm, Trevor?
Dude, I didn't. Well, you learn something new every day. Because I had no idea that glue came from horses.
It's true. Look it up. It's from, if you read the book Animal Farm, the boxer goes on a little like truck and he gets transported to a hospital. And in quotation, at the end of the day, ends up going to the slaughterhouse, or as known as the glue factory.
I think that the Broncos should be known as a glue factory because a colt is a baby male horse.
Exactly. That's why you're going to Colt.
Like, a colt is a baby horse. A Bronco is a full adult horse. Okay. I digress.
Yeah.
I don't think you're taking a baby horse into a slaughterhouse and getting.
It's very true. It's true though. It's true though.
Good Lord.
It's true though. Number 13 is the Baltimore Ravens.
They were definitely a disappointment this year.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. They've been a disappointment since they left Cleveland.
Said Trent Dilfer.
Joe Flacco too.
Ray Lewis running over people, killing people.
Yeah, right. Oh God. Number 15 is the Philadelphia Eagles, which this pick originally belonged to Miami.
The She-Eagles.
Nah, that's a stupid nickname. And then number 16 goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. This pick was originally owned by Indianapolis.
Yours truly. I hope they don't do anything wrong with that pick like they've done over the past 10 years.
Oh, fucking Philly. Anyway, number 17 goes to the LA Chargers.
I mean, this close to a playoff spot, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you can take the Chargers out of San Diego, but you can't take San Diego out of the Chargers.
San Diego Superchargers, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And finally, at 18, until somebody gets eliminated, is that pick belongs to the New Orleans Saints.
They were so close, too. I was kind of pulling for them
Yeah, but
to
it
make
didn't
a run.
Yeah,
Ian
but
Book.
unfortunately, that didn't happen. So
Ian Book and Taysom Hill going to the Super Bowl. Could you imagine?
and winning it before Carson Wentz.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. Carson Wentz played 8 snaps in playoff games. Remember? Because he didn't play at all the year they won the Super Bowl. And then he played 8 snaps and then got a helmet-to-helmet hit with Jadeveon Clowney in 2019. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So he only played 8 snaps in the fucking playoffs. Yeah, he's your franchise quarterback. Trade a first-round pick for him.
That's
Did you ever just watch that documentary later?
about what? About the Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were watching America's Game the other day about the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles.
Hey, Wentz has a ring, but he didn't do shit to get that ring. So
Yeah, so does Tyrod Taylor. He didn't do shit either.
Curtis Painter has a ring. He was the third-string quarterback with the Ravens the year
Was
they
he?
beat the 49ers. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
he was on the bench. I'm like, you know what? Good for you.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know Curtis Painter had a ring. I had no
Jacoby
idea.
Brissett has a ring. Jacoby has a ring.
That I knew because he played for the Patriots.
The year the Falcons blew it. Yep, that was the ring he got.
Oh God. But yeah, it's really interesting though. I think that's the big ass lead. Brittany loves that joke. Big ass lead.
25 freaking points, man. That's like 4 possessions.
You know what's fun?
How do you do it? How do you do that? How do you blow a 20+ lead like that in the biggest game of the year?
Late in the third quarter, nonetheless.
Oh, gosh.
Better yet, and how do you blow a lead like that in the freaking Super Bowl?
But I will always respect the Eagles in the fact that they beat Tom Brady. in the Super Bowl.
I think a lot of people would say that.
Yeah.
Wasn't Brady
Yep.
not playing?
Brady played.
No, the Eagles started a backup quarterback, and Nick Foles and beat Tom Brady.
No. She was asking about Tom Brady. Was Brady not playing that? I'm like, yeah, Brady played.
No, he played.
Brady wasn't playing that game.
No, that's the Eagles with Nick Foles.
No.
Yeah.
Wentz tore his ACL
Like,
against
in
the
Super
Rams.
Bowl?
No, not in the Super Bowl. Before the Super Bowl, Carson Wentz tore his ACL, and then Nick Foles played as the starter all the way to the Super Bowl and won the
Yeah,
MVP.
but they played the Patriots in the playoffs, not the Super Bowl.
No, they played. No, the Eagles played the Patriots. You're confusing me, Britt. God.
Yeah, the Eagles won.
Yes, the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
It was like 42-30.
Brady didn't play.
That was the Steelers 2008.
No,
You
it
know.
was the Steelers.
Matt
I
Castle.
just said the
It
Steelers.
wasn't the Steelers, it was the Eagles.
No.
Did they play the Patriots in a regular game?
No. That part I don't remember, but they played against each other in the Super Bowl.
The documentary we're watching saying the Eagles beat the Patriots in a game if Brady wasn't playing. He was at that game.
Tom Brady threw. From what I remember, he was in there throwing to Gronk, and I remember Brandon Cooks got lit up in that game. That was what I remember about that game.
Yeah. I think she's referring to a regular season game with the Patriots and the Eagles.
And the Philly special, of course.
The Philly
That's what I
special.
remember from that
Oh
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
good old Philly special.
And
Yeah.
Tom Brady dropping the pass.
What's
Yeah,
your
Yeah, a
Your
lot of
go-
memories from that game.
I was gonna say, what's your favorite Super Bowl all time before we go?
All time. I mean, can we say Prince in the Rain, Super Bowl 41, without bias, Colts and Bears?
Colts and Bears, Super Bowl 41.
Could we talk about the dome team coming into a monsoon and beating the Chicago Bears?
Yeah, the Bears were a good team that year, I think. But the only problem is Rex Grossman was their quarterback.
Their defense was number 1 ranked in the league.
Absolutely, and it got to that point. And I
And
think
the fact that a dome team and the Colts came in there in a pouring freaking rainstorm into
Mhm.
Miami and won that game. So, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
But I want to say the Steelers Cardinals game was great too. The Santonio Holmes catch, the 2 touchdowns from Larry Fitzgerald. That game was fun to watch too.
and you were like, what, 5?
6 or 7 years old, I think.
What, really? Huh.
Yeah, I think it was the year after the Colts won. So yeah, I was 7, I think.
Huh, and you remember all that.
No, it was Super Bowl 40. It was 2 years after the Colts game, so I was 7 or 8.
Huh.
Because I remember the year after the
Interesting.
Colts won, the Patriots were 18-1.
Right.
I remember that.
Mm. I was
And the
gonna
David
say,
Tyree catch. Yeah.
yeah. What's your favorite, Sean?
Oh boy, my favorite one. Dang, it's got to be the Giants Patriots one from 2008.
42,
Oh, yeah.
Super Bowl 42.
Yes, that one.
Greatest Super Bowl of all time.
Yes,
David Tyree. Man, a backup. What was he? A backup tight end or wide receiver?
Yeah, something like
yeah,
that.
wide receiver, dude. That freaking catch. Woo!
The Giants were stacked that year. They had
They were.
They had Plaxico. Did they have Tiki Barber?
I don't
No.
think so.
I don't
Tiki
know.
retired.
That was
No.
Brandon Jacobs as a rookie, wasn't it?
I think so.
I think so,
Jacobs,
yeah.
they had Plaxico, Amani Toomer,
Ahmad
Yeah.
Bradshaw.
and they had of course Tyree and young Eli, and they had Michael Strahan,
Justin Tuck.
Justin Tuck. Yep.
Yeah, they had a lot of good players.
JPP.
JPP.
JPP was not on the team yet.
Oh, what-
Wait, was that the
oh,
year
that
when
was the
they
second one. My bad.
yeah, when they went to Indy and Mario Manningham made that crazy sideline catch. I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that game too.
Yeah, I was gonna say JPP was not on Super Bowl 42 yet. So, I would say
Oh,
for
my
me
bad.
though, my favorite Super Bowl because the Bills don't have any good ones yet. My favorite.
They had 4 in the 90s, but
I'm gonna say my favorite Super Bowl is. Oh God, I want to say. This is tough.
45 was a good one with Aaron
No.
Rodgers.
No, that's not what I was gonna say. I'm gonna say my favorite Super Bowl was Super Bowl 40, which was Pittsburgh and Seattle. That was
I don't remember. I don't remember I don't think I watched that game.
Yeah, it was Jerome Bettis' last game in the NFL, and it was Bill Cowers' last game as a coach for Pittsburgh.
Oh, was that the super rigged one from the referees? Was that the really, really
I don't
bad
think
officiated Super Bowl? Was that the one I'm thinking of?
that's what a lot of people say, but I don't remember that.
Yeah. But that was what? Hasselbeck and Sean Alexander?
Yeah, Sean Alexander, Matt Hasselbeck, Jeremy Stevens.
Wasn't Huge-Manzada on the team?
I think so. I remember. I think Tatopu was on that team as well, if I remember correctly.
Tatupu. Yep, I remember that guy.
Wait, who's Manzada? Didn't he play for the Bengals?
Yeah, I think he played with Seattle first.
Yeah, and then
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's really odd. And I would also say my favorite other Super Bowl, aside from not watching it because I wasn't born yet, I would say the 1985 Chicago Bears.
Yep, Dick Butkus, McMahon.
Big what? Butkus wasn't even on the team. What are you talking about?
In 85, wasn't he?
Butkus was not on the team.
Are you sure?
I am positive. Trust me. Look it up. Dick Butkus was not on the 85 Chicago Bears.
Was it? I think it was Mike Ditka.
Ditka was the coach, and then McMahon was the quarterback. And they had guys like Mike Singletary, Richard Dent, Steve McMichael. They had Leslie Frazier.
Dick Butkus was on the coaching staff.
Yeah, but that's not playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buddy Ryan was the defensive coordinator. I'm trying to think. Who else was on that team? Oh, William the Refrigerator Perry.
Yes.
That guy. I think he's in the Hall of Fame. I'm not exactly sure. Is he in the Hall of Fame? Look it up,
yes.
Trevor.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Trevor,
I also got another Super Bowl favorite. I forgot it was one of those 30s one with Broncos and Packers.
Super Bowl 37.
Elway going back to back. Yep.
The helicopter hit.
Oh. Elway went back to back against the Packers, right?
He won one against the Packers, and then
he won the other one against the Falcons.
One against the Falcons. Yeah, that was long before Big Ass lead.
My favorite.
I don't even think they had a lead in that game. I don't think Atlanta had a lead in that game.
Yeah, hold on. What do you got, Britt?
My favorite, because I just got into football, like really into it a few years ago. Mine by default is Big Ass Lead.
Super Bowl 51.
How about 1996 Favre beating the Patriots?
I remember that one.
I didn't even know what a football. I knew what a football was. I
was freaking like 8 or 9 years old back then.
Bledsoe versus Favre.
Well,
I remember that.
Favre was the heavy favorite. The minute you said Favre, I'm like, oh yeah. If it's against Drew Bledsoe, forget it.
But what about all those Super Bowls that Adam Vinatieri had to win for Tom Brady? Like the Panthers and the Rams.
Yep.
I think Vinatieri had to be MVP in those games.
Except he didn't get it. I would say another favorite from me personally, honestly, even though I don't like the results of it, Super Bowl 39, which was the Patriots and the Eagles.
Oh, McNabb's first Super Bowl. His only Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, dang. Yeah, I remember that one too.
I think I was like 11 or 12 when that game was played. I think I was 11 when that Super Bowl was being played.
I'm looking at the complete list right now.
Of all the Super Bowls?
Yeah. The first Super Bowl was held on January 15th, 1967. Packers beat the Chiefs 35-10 in the LA Coliseum.
Wow.
Dang. All right, and to answer your question about the refrigerator, yeah, he got inducted in 2006.
Wow, good for him.
Yep.
It's a hell of a player. So, what else do you got, Trevor, before we go?
I'm looking here. Let's see. Cowboys beating the Steelers, Super Bowl 30, 27-17. Niners, and who was it? I bet you this was Steve Young. I think it was Steve Young. Pounding on the Chargers 49-26.
Damn.
Yeah, because I remember, well, let me see. Montana had 5 and Young had 1, right?
Yeah, Steve Young had 1. No, he has 5, I think. No, I'm wrong. No, I'm wrong. Montana has 4 and Steve Young has 1. You're
Young
right.
has 1. Yep, Young started in January 29th, 1995 against the
I'm pretty sure Jerry Rice has 5 Super Bowl rings. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, and he jumped around a little bit in the early 2000s. I remember he went to didn't he go to the Raiders?
Yeah, and he played for Seattle.
That's right.
Yep.
Freaking Jerry. Why didn't
Packers over the Steelers, 45. See, no one mentioned the Peyton Manning first appearance with the Broncos 43-8 game.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Honestly, that's probably
That was.
Go ahead,
Dude,
Sean.
yeah, that was a train wreck for him from start to finish. Oh,
The first play was a safety.
I know. Oh, man.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably one of my least favorite Super Bowls, even if it was in my home state.
Let's see. This one's going to be in SoFi. The next one's going to be in State Farm Stadium, which
Arizona.
Arizona. Used to be University of Phoenix Stadium. The next one is going to be in Allegiant Stadium,
in
and
Las
then the
Vegas.
next one's going to be in the Superdome. Takes you all the way up to 2025.
Yeah, I think they make plans in advance for a Super Bowl every 5 years.
Yeah, I think so. It sounds about right.
Yeah, so is there any comments you guys want to make before we wrap up tonight's episode?
Yeah, the Colts need help.
Colts need help.
Professional help. They need to fire that entire coaching staff, and if they don't, they're okay with losing.
What about you, Sean?
Well, the Kraken are down 3-1 against the Stars, so it's whatever.
Is it the end of the first period or is it the second period?
I think they're in the shoot. I think it's probably close. I think it's probably close to the end of the second period. Let me check real quick. I just saw the score. I didn't see the period.
Are we live on Facebook right now?
Yes, we still are.
Yeah, they're in
Nice.
first intermission.
You got time. Anyway, yeah, and aside from that, I am good. I am just enjoying life right now. And I got this kick-ass, I don't know if you can see it, Josh Allen jersey a few months ago, and I finally got it
Autographed.
up on my wall. Yep, autographed. And on the bottom, it says right there, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills quarterback. One of my groomsmen actually got me that as a wedding present.
There you go. But
Nice.
behind me, I have a signed autographed Daniel Briere jersey behind me.
I see it.
Yep.
He was a hell of a player. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, so I think that's going to be it for this week's episode, and we will get the gang back together next Wednesday as we will see the results from the playoff games, and we'll see if any of us were wrong or right, and we will go from there.
Fuck the Titans.
Yeah,
Go
Screw
Bills.
the Patriots.
go Bills.
Big ass lead.
Yes, go Bills.
Yeah,
And
Brittany said go-
congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs on beating Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yes, sir.
probably biggest upset.
41 years overdue.
Absolutely. Saban's a snake too, so it's great to see him go down.
Yeah, so with that said, I am Buffalo Bob. We have Mr. Bubba Matt, and then of course we have our ally Trevor Hauer from the Hauer Power, whatever the fuck your show is called.
You got it, man.
Yeah, close enough. And I have Brittany in the background. She's waving goodbye. There she goes.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Big ass
Go
lead.
Bills.
Yep. So with that, we'll talk to you next time.
Peace.
Buffalo After Dark is an HNH studio production and distributed by Horns and Hooves Entertainment.